Hello there, my name is Valerie White-Williams, and today I am talking about the fixed signs in astrology. So I know most people are familiar with the earth, air, fire, and water and those properties, but we have a secondary quality that is what we call cardinal, fixed, and mutable. So cardinal energy is the initiating energy. It's the creation cycle. You initiate something. The fixed is holding to the vision of what's been created. And then at the end, it's the mutable, which is breaking things down, deconstructing it, and getting ready to create something new. So every of the earth, air, fire, and water signs have a fixed component. So my last video, I talked about the cardinal signs, and the cardinal signs take action. And the interesting thing about the cardinal signs is the cardinal signs come on the solstices and the equinoxes. So they are the shift of that new season. And so what comes after is the fixed. So the fixed signs are in the prime time of the season. It's like the dog days of summer. So they're holding that energy. And that's why fixed signs have been considered stubborn, because that's what they do. They hold things. They hold the energy. They're fixed, meaning they're holding it. They're strong. They're keeping things together. They're keeping the fort going. So let's go into the 4 signs. So we're going to start in the spring. And so after Aries, which is the cardinal sign, we have Taurus. And Taurus is fixed earth. Now, what happens in that time of year, at least here we live in the northern hemisphere, spring is well coming on. All the flowers starts coming out, gardens are being planted. And so that's that fixed energy, because Taurus is fixed earth. So the earth is really coming out right now with that fixed sign. People are working, we're holding the energy of that fixed sign. Now that's what's going on with the earth, but Tauruses they hold on to the energy. They are passionate. They are, fixed. They're stubborn. They're going to hold on and they're not going to back down. So that's the thing about Taurus or any fixed signs. They will not back down. They are holding in for the long run. So their earthy qualities is building and having a home and having a beautiful nest, and you're going to work hard to sustain it, because that's the thing, is that you're going to work to sustain that beautiful garden that you planted. And it doesn't mean just a garden. Anything that a Taurus is going to invest in, they're going to hold on and work hard for that. And so that is the fixed energy of Taurus. So now as we go into the summer, we are having fixed energy in Leo. So again, Cancer was initiating energy, the cardinal energy that begins the summer season. And then we have Leo. We call that the dog days of summer, because it's hot. We have the sun shining on us. It's usually some of the hottest time of the year is in the sign of Leo. Leo is fixed fire, because that sun is beating down on us. It's really consistent. And Leo is the king, right? And so the sun shines on everybody. We all have this warmth. We have the sun. We're kicking back. We're having fun. We're going on vacation. We're enjoying the summer heat and that summer. So we're holding on. We're going to hold on to that summer. We want to keep that summer. We're going to hold on to the summer. We're going to work hard. This is where a lot of the harvest is. We're not harvesting yet. We're just like watering things, and we're going to go on vacation, and we're going to have fun, because Leo is very creative. We're going to have fun, and we're going to hold the energy. We're going to create and work on having fun and relaxing in the summer with the summer warmth that the sun shines on everybody. They don't go, well, I don't like you, or you didn't do the right thing. Leo shines on everybody. So it's very generous. It's a generous sign and generous energy and fun, having fun, allowing yourself to have fun and work for that fun, and you're going to hold that as long as you can because nothing lasts forever. And then we're going to go to the mutable signs. So next we're going to go into the fall. And again, Libra initiates the fall season. And then we have Scorpio. And Scorpio is fixed water. I think of it like a deep lake. So by the time Scorpio comes around, we know that everything's dying out. And so what Scorpio is going to take care of the harvest. We're going to store everything. So at that point, we are actually having stores of food. We're taking care of that water. Now, water is deep, and water, we think of a lake. There's things hidden under there. So Scorpio is holding on to all those things that's going to be underneath the water. Could be the money. It could be taking care of having food on hand. Because normally, we live in the modern era, and we can go to the supermarket and buy food. But throughout history, people had to put food back in the wintertime because you couldn't go to the grocery store. You had to preserve it. You had to make sure it was still there. You're going to make sure you had enough. So in Scorpio, and that's when it starts getting darker, it's really deep. You have to have everything together at that time. So Scorpio is very protective of loved ones, and they're going to create structure and holding the energy to get people through some of the darkest times, right? Because Scorpio is when the darkness is really intense, and it's right before, it's going to get a bit more intense as we go into Sagittarius, but that's the time that you got to put everything back, make sure you have all your supplies, and you're ready to dig into the winter. And so that's what Scorpio does. It's going to hold that energy. It's going to build and take action, but work towards building that store of food or whatever they're holding on to, because they want to be secure. There's a lot of security in having things held back, and maybe things that we're not going to let you know that we have. Like, I'm not going to let you know we have extra food. I'm not going to let you know that we have hidden guns or something like that. So that's Scorpio. They're going to hold that energy. It's protective energy. Most of the fixed signs are very protective. They are protecting the elements. We're protecting the water that's going to nurture us. We're protecting. The sun, Leo, is protecting. Taurus is growing in a different way, but it's protecting. We're building the garden, holding the strength. And the very last sign is in winter, which is Aquarius. So Capricorn initiates the winter season, and now we're in Aquarius, which is where we are right now. And Aquarius is fixed air. And fixed air is probably the hardest one to kind of conceptualize, because in the wintertime no one's doing anything. Everybody's just kind of waiting for the weather to get better. But maybe you could think about it as a gardener, because that's how people would plant. So in the Aquarian season, that's when you're going to plan everything. You're going to create a plan of what's going to come, because the plan is the air sign, mental thinking, planning, and creating a structure and maintaining that structure. So air is where the air of Aquarius is where we are dedicating ourselves to a structure, an intellectual structure or a plan, and we're going to hold the energy for that plan, and we're going to write lists and find out what we need to do to keep that structure in place. We're going to strengthen the structure of our relationships and our goals and our ideas. And that's what we call the Aquarian age, where we have a structure that works for everybody, because that's what the Aquarius is. It's about, the whole earth, and we're all brotherhood of man. But in our personal life, we're going to create this structure to hopefully go to the next cycle and hold that energy. Again, it's protective and holding. And yes, they can be stubborn, but that's their role. They're going to hold that energy, hold that intellectual planning energy to hold that structure. And it's a different type of structure than the water structure or the earth structure. but we're holding the mental pictures and relationship structure. That's what Aquarius is doing. So that's the fixed sign, and then we're going to go back and we're going to talk about the mutable signs. So I hope you let me know if this makes any sense, because it's all based on the seasons, but we have seasons in our own life as well. So this is, again, that fixed energy. Now, of course, most astrology wheels, people have all kinds of energy. So, but you might look at your chart and see how much fixed energy you have, how much cardinal energy you have, and then how much mutable energy we have. So I'm going to talk about mutable later, but if you like this content, make sure you subscribe and click on my astrology channel, because I have to say I love astrology. And I also want to let you know of my free group, which is called Creative Soul Alignment. And that's a group for people who are interested in spirituality and creativity. Because here's the deal, we are all creating our world. In fact, we created our world. When you come into that chart, boom, that is your blueprint of the soul's journey, why you were here. And so we are all creative and we are all spiritual. And here's the deal, we are all here on this planet right now to create a world that works for everybody without creepy, unelected overlords telling us what to do. And that's where that Aquarian energy is right now, is that we can come together and visualize that world where, you know, the Star Trek world that we heard from years ago, where humanity solved the problems and now they can help people. We need to keep that in mind, because that's where we're going. And as long as we keep that in mind, because there's no creepy overlords in that story, we don't need them. So keep that in mind, and I'll see you next time. Bye.